describe my role. I basically do most of the back end stuff. So a lot of just planning the meetings, reserving the room, figuring out what we're doing that day, because I always try to keep it interesting.
And now as the president for the year, I run all of our leadership and executive board meetings. I help run and plan our general open meetings that are open to everyone on campus. And we have multiple different teams, so I kind of just like coordinate the communication between the teams and doing our different events and stuff and making sure that, you know, the events are in contact with marketing so that we are able to market these events clearly to the campus and that everyone's working together to make our events happen.
President. My main duties are social media, getting our message out there, making posters and promotions for any events that we have or collaborations that we have with other organizations on campus, and that's basically all that I do for Bears Who Care.
Honestly, I never had any problems being queer on campus. I don't personally, like, I'm trying to think of how to answer this.
Honestly, like, I've never really experienced any, like, genuine, like, homophobia here or anything like that.
I don't think I've ever had any experiences about being queer. I think the only times I've ever felt unsafe are because I'm a woman, so I don't think being queer really has to do with it. I feel like it's more about being a woman.
I mean, especially since I typically dress a little more boyish. So I feel like I'm, like, visibly gay, but, like, no one's ever really had an issue with it, like, or anything like that. I mean, yeah, I've always felt rather safe.
For me, I don't think it makes a difference. I have an outgoing personality, so I don't know if that has to do with me being gay or if that's just me. But for me, I don't see a difference on campus or anything like that, just for me being gay.
The transition to college was a lot easier because I already had, like, a group of also queer people with me, so I think that made it a lot easier and a lot easier to be myself and just a lot easier to just be, like, finally out and queer in a space where I didn't have to worry about it, like, because I was just with other people my age. I wasn't with, like, family or other people that I had to worry about if they would treat me differently for being queer. So I think just surrounding myself with a group of other queer people, and I know there's a lot of other people on campus as well, not just, like, people that I know that are queer, so I think that makes it a lot easier to be queer on campus.
Because I remember at orientation, the orientation leaders had, like, little gay pins and stuff, and there was, like, one time where it was, like, around lunchtime or something, and they had some tents, and there was one for maybe the Pride Center. They had, like, all the little flags and stuff, so I nabbed one, took a little gay flag, and this was, like, prior to me, like, ever being out or anything, and I hid that shit in my bag. I didn't want anyone to see it, but I took it, and, like, I don't know, ever since there's always been, like, a presence of, like, the Pride Center and, like, LGBT students here, so, like, it's always felt pretty welcoming. Like, I think that's why I was able to, like, transition out of the closet to be my queer self, because it's just, like, it was, like, always a good environment for it.
So I think that being queer has impacted my student leader journey. As one of the few queer members on our board, there is a few others. I think that makes us want to push harder to plan these more queer events. We're actually bringing a drag show to BSU, a big one, which is very exciting, to actually see these events that you are pushing for to kind of, you know, promote the queer community and lift up those queer voices. It's great to see it actually come to life and that the community's going to get to experience it.
Yes, and now I'm glad I can be in that spot, like, as the president, and, like, I can help other students who maybe, like, aren't out yet or like a little confused or something, stuff like that. I don't know. Always felt very, very nice about the LGBTs at BSU.